Hello, my sweet and dirty readers. Welcome back to another Sierra Talks Books with Authors, where if you are sweet and you love to read dirty, then you're in the right place. Today's special guest on Sierra Talks Books with Authors is actually not an author. He is Christopher John, and he is a photographer, a cover model photographer with CJC Photography. So spend the next 15 minutes or so with us and learning about his operation, his business, and how he gets those hunky models for authors' book covers. And hello and welcome to another episode of Sierra Talks Books with Authors. And this time I actually have someone who is within the romance author world, but isn't an author, not yet at least. Welcome, Christopher John.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Let's talk about then how, when you started your photography business, why you got into it, and then, how you've built it up. So when did you start?
So I guess ever since high school, I always had a camera with me. Bought my first professional camera, and I wanted to venture into taking pictures more on a professional level. It was an online program through the New York Institute of Photography, and it was kind of a bundled package where they would send you your lessons for the whole program. And it was up to you how you wanted to do the program. You pretty much had lessons every week on cropping or using nature, things like that. You would submit your content in, and it was so old that you had to mail pictures on a CD. I did a whole bunch of stuff when I first started, though. I did like baby showers, bridal showers, maternity, babies in general.
Oh, that would be tough.
I hated all of it, to be honest. That type of photography just doesn't interest me from that aspect.
Right.
Like I would get asked, I still get asked all the time if I will do weddings, and I won't do that.
Did you realize like, I like to work with models and, capture them and do their photo shoots? When did that take a turn?
So through the program, I was just using the people I knew. So it was my sister and my cousins. Are the only people I was testing with. Started kind of by doing different magazines, submitting to magazines and getting published in them. When I was shooting and testing with my sister and my cousins. So one example of a magazine, it was called AT. It's based in New York. I did a spread we called it A Family Affair. So that's my sister Allie, and that's my cousin Janessa.
Dang.
So they interviewed us for that, and then this is my other cousin Ashley. Yeah, so this is kind of different ways that I got started, and that's my background is in email marketing and social media marketing. I know a lot of people, authors specifically, that their hardest part that they tell me is the marketing aspect. They just don't like promoting themselves or speaking about themselves.
Right.
That's kind of what I learned since college. So I love marketing. I think it's so fun.
Interesting.
It takes about 2 days for me to fully plan a week's content.
My gosh. Wow.
Yeah,
See, that's why authors don't like doing it.
It's so much work. Yeah.
I know.
A lot of people just do it live.
Even if I think about it.
Even if something seems like I did it spontaneously, I probably planned it a week before. How
did you then foray in from this magazine and submitting for magazines to being on or cover photos for?
So it's it's kind of ironic because I was a huge reader growing up, and I still am. I read every book that I shoot the cover of. I was a big Scholastic book reader. They had book fairs at school. A rock star romance author named Sophie Monroe messaged me on my Facebook fan page and was asking about purchasing a photo of this very tattooed guy named Joe. His whole back is a tattoo. Like multiple tattoos, but it's just all tattoos.
Wow.
And I'm looking at it on the wall because I have it framed on my wall.
Oh, cool.
I like to put like good memories. It's called Afflicted. And she asked, and I was like, yes, but I didn't really have that much knowledge about it. That's how it started. Kind of went from there and just marketing myself and through starting there. And it was very slow. It started slowly and progressed. But,
wow. Yeah. So that was back in 2013, you said?
Yes.
So here we are, almost 7 years later. How many, do you have a count of how many covers you've sold and done?
It's close to 700, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I have everything in a spreadsheet, and I was just looking the other day. And yeah, it's pretty crazy to think in general, just like it's very rewarding to see everything, like all the hard work is paying off.
Do you normally get notified or a request from an author who's looking for something specific, or do you go out and do the photo shoots and then have them just ready? Because I know I've just picked from your portfolio, but
right. So I do stock photos where I will do a shoot with a model, and those images will all be in my group and on my website for authors to browse and purchase from, or I do custom photo shoots.
Okay.
I also scout talent constantly. Obviously, this year things are quite different, but I'll be posting in my group new faces I find, and I just say, who do you want to see me work with? Do you want custom shoots with any of these individuals? Searching for very specific things, concepts that people just couldn't find. Gay romance couples, that was a problem and still is, that people can't find. Lesbian romance as well. So just pretty much saying, I'm here to help facilitate what everyone is looking for. So
all right. Are these models that you've seen in other I don't know, areas, or in magazines, or on Instagram, or do you just see people and say, they'd be a good model? What do you think?
I've only spoken to 2 people, like meeting them at the gym twice.
Okay.
One time it worked out really well. That's Garrett. We've done, I think, 17 covers so far since last year.
Wow. That's great.
I have a pretty good eye with, I know someone's going to work well. Majority is through Instagram.
Okay.
Or I can search at people that tag themselves at like the local gyms, things like that.
Okay.
It's also very largely referral based. So if I shoot someone and it's amazing, I will ask if they have friends that also model.
Okay. Do you feel like there's a shelf life though of, certain models and their looks? How do you ensure that you can use them long term?
That does get more complicated the more and more popular someone is, because since everything's custom and exclusively sold, I can't be, for me, everyone works differently. I can't speak towards what others do, but for me, if I shoot, I'll use Jared as an example. I did football with him recently, and we did 2 different concepts, one in a park holding football, and then one with just black walls in an alley. So we sold the park one. I still have the other option of him in the alley, which looks very, very different. I'm not going to shoot him doing football again because we already So you have to get more and more creative on the concepts. Pretty much only shoot outdoors. I'd say 90% outdoors. If it's indoors, it would be a hotel theme. I don't do studio at all. And I mainly use natural light as my favorite. So
and is that just a preference? The studio versus
that's what I prefer. I just love outside. It can be more difficult if the weather keeps changing, especially in like Florida in the summer where it's raining one minute and sunny the next. But
they're dripping sweat from the humidity.
That definitely does happen.
A little bit before we started, the pandemic and changes that COVID and all of that has had on your business, like photo shoots. You said you'd had your first photo shoot in the past 2 months. Is that What were some of the things that you had to do differently this go around?
So people usually think, well, for me anyways, people usually, and it's probably partly based on how I post things, it makes it seem like maybe I'm shooting 24/7.
Okay.
But this year it feels like I haven't shot at all.
Okay.
Normally maybe I would do one shoot a week.
Okay.
It's the editing that takes up the bulk of the time. And I'm shooting so much that content can really last for a year. So going into this year, I think I shot January to March, then I stopped for 2 months.
Okay.
Then I was shooting again for a couple weeks. Then things got terrible and still are terrible here. And then that was another 2 months. And then I just did one shoot over the weekend. Okay. So I haven't really shot that much this year at all.
Because you do shoot outdoors, when you do establish a shoot, how do you determine where you go? Do you have preferences and places that you like most often? Because I know you a lot of times have like the alleys and the cool walls. And
Yeah, so where I live in St. Pete, I have maybe, if it's for a custom shoot, I'm asking them what kind of location they're looking for. If they want a park, I have one location for that is pretty quiet and no one goes to. Vast majority, authors are just looking for solid walls, either white, black, or brick.
Yeah.
So if it's in St. Pete, I have 2 to 3 locations. It depends where the model lives. If it's in Tampa, I have a location. If it's in Orlando, that's tough because security for buildings usually are very strict.
Oh,
so I have a city between Tampa and Orlando that I go to for that.
Okay.
That has the same aesthetic. So it's usually based on location.
So I wanted to share with the viewers the 2 books so far that I have with covers that you've done. So let me see if I can get this right now. So this one's my most recent, Change in Strategy. And you actually read the book and did a review, which I think is amazing. Thank you. Yeah. That's what I love about that is you establish such a good rapport with your authors that you work with. And I, as an author, appreciate that as a client, you know.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I love it. For my first book with you was Reckless. And so I had, it started off as a serial and I had 3 different covers, and this was the cover for the entirety. It's hard to see because of the way that I had the cover designer do it, but it's you and Gus and
Lauren.
Lauren, yes. I love it.
Interesting because I took it myself also.
That's crazy.
I just had my camera on a tripod and put it on the timer.
Yeah.
And that's how we took that, which was funny.
Yeah. And then I have a 3rd one coming out, which I'm writing right now. And it's called Change of Course. And it's a male-male professor-student relationship and story. And it's going to feature
Stephen
Bottoms. Well, is that what he goes by? Yeah, or not?
Well, that's his real name. Yeah.
Okay. But anyhow, so I'm very excited. And I remember seeing that photo. And again, it was up against this pink wall. And that wall just like drew me in. I mean, of course he does too. And, but and I'm like, oh, this will look really good because of the color schemes that I had.
I was hoping whoever picked that would keep the wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks so nice. So
I was in Miami.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can. Yeah. It's so colorful down in Miami, and
I know. Yeah, that was one of my. That's a specific called Wynwood Walls.
Number one being, such a great photographer to work with, because it's kind of a scary thing from an author's perspective, because we might be creative in terms of the writing process, but the visual aspect of it is hard, at least for me. I have no sense or, ability to choose, what looks good and what doesn't. So I appreciate your
very collaborative effort.
Yeah.
A lot of the time the author will, if they're not sure what they're looking for, I have them tell me what the book's about and what the characters are like.
Yeah.
and like what that character, their kind of essence is, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
So then I will send stuff to them that I think fits it, and that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes really helps too. But
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of the time, people kind of know exactly what they want. They're like, I want X, and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
or,
You'll flip through. It's like, no, no, no. Oh, maybe. No, no.
or if they're questioning it, I'll give them a proof of it and let
Uh-huh.
them send it to their designer to mock up
Okay. Yeah.
if they're not sure.
Yeah. Well, cool. And that's the other thing I like about working with you is that you're not, you're helpful, but you're not high pressure. Like, if you don't buy this from me, I'll never talk to you again. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't say that. I pick whichever photographer, whatever photo fits whatever you need.
Well, where can authors, readers, models find you? I know you have a wonderful website and you're on socials.
I do. So for authors, the best spot would probably be my website, cjc-photography.com. It's kind of my hub where all my for sale imagery will live.
I've had a pleasure working with you in the past, and I hope to continue to do so in the future. And I hope this whole pandemic, we'll either learn to live with it. Yeah, I sure hope so, because my niece lives down in Orlando. She works for Disney, and
nice.
I try to get down there on the reg, but it's a long commute from Seattle to Orlando.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Shameless is one of my favorite events. I go to it every year, so that is a great one in Orlando.
Well, all right. Well, we will plan to meet someday down the road in the future.
Great.
All right. Thank you,
Nice
Chris.
talking to you.
Nice
Stay
talking
safe,
to you.
everyone.
And that's it, folks. Thank you so much to Christopher John for sharing about his photography business, how he got involved in photography, and all the work that he's done for the romance community with all the covers that he has done and authors he's worked with over the years. And you know where to find him. We'll post the links below. And make sure you check out his YouTube channel as well for all the great reviews that he does. And subscribe to my channel for more authors, interviews with authors in the near and coming months. And until then, remember to be sweet, love hard, and read dirty. Bye.